everyone, this is Pastor Bell with just a quick word. And today I want to talk about another lie that Christians tell. The first one that I talked about was God will never give you more than you can handle. That was a few weeks ago. You can go and find that under this feed. But the one I want to talk about today is the lie that everything happens for a reason, or God does everything for a reason. This is a phrase that gets thrown out often when people don't know what else to say. In the face of grief, in the face of death, in the face of disappointment, they'll trot out this line, well, everything happens for a reason. God has a reason for everything that happens in our lives. And the fact of the matter is that that may or may not be true. Certainly God acts with purpose, and certainly there are times in our lives when we see God doing something for a reason. So I thought I was supposed to be a police officer. God turned me away from that path so that I could become the pastor that I was meant to be. I wanted girls to date me in high school. God turned me from that path so that I could meet the wonderful wife who I have built an amazing life together with and had 3 wonderful children with, right? Those, I can see God working in those moments, but I don't think that means that God is controlling every single thing or has a reason for every single thing that happens. If I walk out of this room and go to walk down to the basement of the church and fall and break my leg, did that happen for a reason? If my car blows out and I'm going home and I'm stuck on the side of the road in the heat of the afternoon, did that happen for a reason? Maybe, maybe not. But it's not a helpful explanation for the world that we live in, nor does it reflect the God that we encounter in Scripture, because very often this gets used, particularly when people die unexpectedly. I've stood in the receiving line with family and with friends and beside congregations and people that I serve and heard people say that when someone dies, very young in a car crash, they say, well, everything happens for a reason. Wait, you're saying God intentionally killed this young person and took them decades before they should have died? What's that reason? You want to share that? Or if someone doesn't get a job and they're on the edge of financial ruin and people say, well, everything happens for a reason. Well, that's great, but I've got rent to pay and I've got bills to get by and I have children to provide for. If you have that reason, great, but how is it going to help me in the months to come? And the question comes, is that really the God we follow? A God who capriciously harms or blesses people, who looks at every little action and every little thing we do? I'm not sure that it is. And so I would encourage you to get rid of that phrase, everything happens for a reason, or God does everything for a reason, because it doesn't reflect the gospel of Jesus Christ, nor does it offer comfort and hope to those who need it most. Instead, you might remind them that God is with them in this moment, and so are you. That you are praying for them and caring for them, and that God weeps with them when they weep and rejoices with them when they rejoice, because that is the God that we encounter. That is the God who is there with Elijah in the wilderness as he is wanting to die, offering him hope and encouragement. That is the God that is there with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, giving him the strength to do what he is called to do. That is the God that is with Paul in the shipwrecks and in prison as he is sharing the good news of Jesus Christ. And that is the God who is with us in our lowest moments and our highest moments, when we are holding a newborn child in our arms and when we are facing dire health issues in a hospital bed by ourselves, when we are rejoicing with a new work or job that we've acquired, or when we are dealing with the 13th rejection this month and feeling down about our chances and what's going to happen next. So whether everything happens for a reason or not, whether that's factually true or not, it's not a good message for us as God's people to share. Instead, we should remind people of God's love and mercy. Now, if you've ever used this phrase, don't feel bad. We all say things that don't quite work. We all commit a little bit of heresy, as one of my seminary profs like to say, and God forgives us, and we move on, and we rarely cause great damage. But moving forward, let us continue to do better. Let us continue to better reflect the good news that we do have to share. And let us show people the love and mercy and grace and inspiration and hope that comes from knowing Jesus Christ. Because that is the truth that we are called to share. That is the truth that speaks against the lies that the world so often offers. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Stay safe. God bless. And we'll talk to you next time.